Hello everyone. Thank you for clicking on my channel and welcome to the journey home. My name is Catherine and I live in Nova Scotia. This is an afternoon delight reading. And for those who want your specific signs, zodiac signs, we have fall forecast out. We have the September forecast for each sign, as well as love readings. This afternoon delight, I'm going to start with a quick disclosure here. Disclosure, possibly disclaimer. For those of you who have telescopes, now would be a good time to start pointing them at the moon. There is a lot of activity going on there. Data sets from WebBot have shown that in a couple of years' time, there will be a lot of action, a lot of disclosure regarding the moon and its inhabitants. What's curious is that India just landed there, and Japan is on its way, and they've landed in the southern hemisphere of the moon, or the southern western corner of the moon, which is like if you had as Cliff had described it, if you had a grizzly bear in the area, it's not going to bother you unless you are moving into where its domain is. But there's buildings being erected, buildings being taken down, a lot of activity. Amateur astronomers are picking up the activity. Of course, most of it is on the dark side of the moon, but you can see a lot of movement on what is visible to the Earth. So just to let you know, because in the next couple of years, we're going to hear a lot more of what's going on the moon. And what beings are up there, human or not, we don't know. But now would be a good time for people who have telescopes to keep an eye on the moon. That said, let's get into this afternoon delight reading. Things are changing in the world so quickly that unfortunately some people, by the time they awaken to the fact that we are at war, it would be too late. Things are really picking up. So let's look at your personal spiritual walk, because we are entering into this dimension of the hyper woo, the rising of consciousness in humanity that affects all of us. It's going to be easier for you younger folk in some ways, because you're young and strong, obviously. And who knows? Maybe when we get to, 100, 200, or even 1,000 years out, we're going to need to have a different color of skin or something. We'll be more exposed to the galactic center light. This is already evident. I'm not saying that people are going around. Mind you, there is a lot of people out there with blue hair, but that's not real. It's not one of those natural evolutions, but humans will evolve with the galactic center. And there are great things coming for humanity. But right now we're in the big ugly, whether people realize it or not. I can't imagine anyone not realizing it by now. So where are you on your spiritual growth and journey, humans? At the top of the reading, we have the Nine of Autumn. And as I was looking at this just prior to taping, I have a run up here on the heart of the reading, 7, 8, 9. We have you looking at things differently. We have you purging things that you no longer need, or people in your life. You're removing things that have created negative emotions, and focusing more on facing what you are worried about, or facing what frightens you. Fear comes out of not understanding. Once we understand something, we no longer fear it. So there's some shadow work going on here. the realization that this card says to ask for help from others, but it is also 10 as a completion. And this is in fire mode. This is about universe coming to aid your growth. And I have always known this, but it seems like I've relearned that all you have to do is ask for help, and it will come. So you're looking at things from a different perspective, whether it's in relationships or monetary or how the world is being run, because as we know, the world is still being run by the bad guys, the people that have, or beings who have been in control of this world for too many thousands of years. This is all collapsing now. So we're looking at a different way of being. Now this could even indicate a collapse here of the monetary system and doing business in a whole different way. And I tend to lean towards business here because of protecting the fruits of your labor, preparing, seeing things a different way and preparing for these changes. Now, this is moving in very quickly for us. The Chariot it's coming at a breakneck speed. But this is also calling you to discipline yourself, to stay grounded. I know it doesn't look like you're grounded here, but you might find that when you turn things upside down in the world, that what you thought was down is actually up, and up is down. So this is going to be about self-discipline, sticking to your guns, about the removal of certain things in your life to make room for the help that is coming towards you. At the heart of your reading, we have justice, which is that review. Being fair and objective. Looking at the truth for what it is. So here we are, looking at things a different way, finding a balance, being disciplined to stay in that balance. But it seems like the foremost thing to do is to protect what you have worked for, what you have gained. Let no one come and steal it from you. I'm sure that we are now entering that period where we're going to see in this global revolution that will be breaking out, to have to be careful. There's going to be people who want to break out into the streets, and that would not be advisable at this time, because we're going to see military presence in most countries. Hang in there, guys. We'll talk about love in a minute. Don't you worry. Being disciplined, holding on to that balance and seeing that truth. This is the removal of old ways, old thoughts, or old... You're not hanging on as tightly to... what's the right words? Right and wrong? What was wrong is right, and right is wrong. There's an awakening going on. It looks like we're here, guys. What I've been talking about for months. This is the good that comes back to you. Protecting this is going to expand this. There's an expansion taking place here. This is about expanding. And this is new love. Could be this is the answer to what you are asking here when you ask for help. Opening your heart to love. that is the most powerful weapon we have, opening our hearts to love. This is about beginning a new intimate relationship or rebirth of a current one. The awakening of those psychic abilities. And this is about expansion, going after your dreams. So it's interesting that even though we're going at breakneck speed here, it's that discipline to stay in balance. Let's not put the horse before the cart, or the cart before the horse. We have 7, 8, 9 progression. And we have victory. Love is the answer. And expansion. Let's lay out these cards. Prosperity begins. Sacrifice. Patience. Hope. Trapped in fear. Yeah, well, it's going to be a scary ride, isn't it? Disruption. Love begins. Third eye chakra. The shadow card. Oop. New beginnings. Taking a leap of faith. You're going to expand. Look at that. The 0 in it's the cycle, the new beginning. You're going to be doing some shadow work. There's a tower here, a tower moment. I think this is a global thing. But we want to also stay grounded and balanced when it comes to relationships. This is actually the star card that brings hope. The awakening is going to be a wow moment for you guys. And I think, again, humans are going to be, for some who are waking up so late in this cycle, for some it'll be too late. It will be blinding. It will be, but if you're listening to this reading, I doubt very much you're one of them. You're seeing things in a different way. This is aiding you in balancing. Now, when you're running at breakneck speed, when things are happening around you so quickly, there will be many that will be trapped in fear. And we need to break out of that fear. I can't help but feel this has to do with the push they are putting on people now for mandates. You know, the government saying you have to do this to protect yourself because you'll die if you don't. And people just living in fear. So there's a lot, this feels very chaotic. And it is a tower moment. It looks like we're there, guys. Justice is coming. Justice is coming. Patience is key. This almost looks like a methodical removal of things that needed to be removed. Like fear. Like holding you back from your destiny. Asking for help is a sacrifice. I said quite a few times, and for many years in these readings, that the greatest sacrifice you can give is to ask for help, is to pray. And it is calling for you to ask for that help. Universe cannot help unless you ask. Look at this. From the star card to love begins. There seems to be a protection that, even though I was speaking about protecting the fruits of your labor, to be careful when you're looking at truth and when you're getting grounded for all this chaos that is happening in the world. This really feels like a protection of you from divine source. There's that leap of faith. Look at that. Stepping out into the world, a leap of faith. Now this shadow card, this is Pisces energy. The mirroring. The finding the other half. This is also about self-love, not in the narcissistic or vanity area, but being able to see yourself, the things that you've been purging from patiently, or needing to be patient with, needing to be patient with yourself. We all have a dark side. This love that is pouring out, this feels like it's coming from above. Divine love, third eye chakra. This is where you see clearly. Look at this. In this corner up here, we have you seeing things in a different way, turning things upside down, looking at things from a different perspective. This one is seeing it clearly. And look, we have blinding light. Now down in this corner, we have victory. We have good coming back to you. The answer to your call. The answer or answers coming in to your call. The outpouring of love upon you. Again, this reflects the justice of, the balance. There is disruption, but I think Spirit is saying, if you need help, ask for it. And Spirit will hold you in balance. Answer your requests. And of course, as always, be careful what you wish for. Now, that affects the whole reading. Prosperity and independence. This is about rewarding yourself, not being too hard on yourself during this time. This is about you being happy, being loved, being protected, that walnut growing into a fruitful tree, that new beginning. I'm going to finish this reading. I hope this hasn't gone too long, because I found that if I go over 20 minutes, BitChute doesn't let me upload. It's too big a file. Let's get a card on love and relationships. A card or two on love and relationships. And I'll pull from the other deck for love too. You've known each other before. It would seem to me that at this time, the person you're dealing with, you had a contract to do this together at this time, to bring in certain vibrations for the earth, for humanity, for giving and learning. This is about seeing the dark side without judgment. Now, someone is wearing a false mask. For you that are listening to this reading, I don't think it's you. You might be wearing a false mask in the beginning, but that light's coming in. That galactic center is literally changing your DNA. So be aware. If someone is trying to deceive you, or say, it is night when you know it is day. This really feels like outside interference that makes us question everything when it comes to love, because of the status quo of these sons of you-know-who are telling humanity what is right and what is wrong. And only you and your personal relationship with your higher consciousness knows the truth. So this is the time to tap into it during this chaotic time we are in. because I'm sorry to say, guys, it is going to get worse. But what is coming after all of this is so beautiful, so different, so unlike. It's even now, it is not the same world that your parents lived in or your grandparents. You're changing the world. Take a chance on love. I think that's our most powerful tool right now, guys. It is our most powerful tool at this time. Our lives are changed forever. It's also a 23, breaks down to a 5. This means a radical change. And the 22, a prime number. You're getting to the heart of the matter. There's more going on than meets the eye. Perhaps that's what that deception card means. Maybe not nefarious, but getting to the heart of the matter. There's more going on than meets the eye. And the best way for you to deal with whatever deception is, whatever things that you're needing to purge or wanting to keep in your life, this is your most powerful tool. On that note, I better end it. And I thank you for joining me. If you would like a personal reading, I'll leave a link in the description below. But do check out your zodiac signs. They get quite in-depth, as well as your love readings. Thanks again for joining me. God bless. Bye-bye for now.